So that touches, I guess, on how dog therapy can be an effective form of therapy, but of course, there's more to it. Can you can you tell us more about dog therapy and its effectivity as a therapeutic tool?
Yeah, it's really quite fascinating, actually. There's been a lot of research done looking at what happens when you spend some time sitting and petting a friendly dog. And the research really shows that that time with the dog goes really beyond, what you would think of as just being the cute and fluffy. And research has shown that by spending some time sitting and petting a friendly dog or even a friendly cat, there are decreases in stress hormone levels like cortisol levels, and there are increase in your body's natural painkillers like endorphin levels. So that really helps explain why we feel better when we spend that time sitting and spending time petting our pet or someone else's pet. It's not just an emotional reaction, but truly there's a biological and physiological response that happens as well. And when you talk to therapy dog handlers or the owners who take their dogs into the hospitals or into nursing homes to visit with patients, you really see their stories bring this to light. And for the Power of Wagging Tails, I talked with lots of different therapy dog handlers and asked them, is there a special moment you had with your dog? And in every case, there was a big pause, and they'd say, well, I don't know if it's really anything important or not, but, and then they would tell me these most incredible stories that really helped to prove the impact that their dog was making. One of those was a German Shepherd named Lanny. And Lanny's a 4-year-old dog who's been making visits at a nursing home with his owner, Marlene, for the last few years. And one day they were making what they thought was just sort of a typical visit. They went into a room and there were two gentlemen, and one gentleman was really outgoing and friendly and, chatted with Lanny the dog and then was talking with Lanny's owner, Marlene. And in the other room was a man who was sitting really quietly. And after a few minutes, Lanny went over and sat with this man. And the man began to pet Lanny, and after a few minutes, he started talking with him softly and telling him all kinds of stories, and they really had a wonderful conversation. So Marlene didn't think anything of it. She left the room, and as she was going down the hall, the nurse stopped her and said, I have to tell you, that man has not spoken to any of us in months and weeks. And we've just been waiting for him to finally open up and tell us what's going on. And all it took was having that dog come in to really make that difference and make that connection that allowed him, to begin to open up and those walls to start melting down. And I think that's the kind of story that you hear very often with therapy dogs, that they really do that, make that kind of connection that makes such a powerful difference in people's lives.